Hello everyone, we are here to develop our test automation framework step by step. In previous tutorial, we have implemented page object model, and by the end of this tutorial, we are going to add 2 new test cases and run them in parallel using testNG. I am Zekeriya, managing partner of Quality Museum. With our amazing team, we bring companies from no testing to end-to-end testing. We have implemented complete testing culture up to $100 million projects that includes manual testing, test automation, and performance testing. Let's get started. Before we start implementing a parallel running structure with testNG, we will first add a new project with 2 new test cases. Now I am creating project folder structure, adding page object and test package under Amazon. I am creating 4 different test classes, but both of our test cases will be under cart page test. First test case is go to Amazon, search computer, and add first product to the cart. The second test case is go to the cart page and remove products, creating the first test. We will get help from our previous test cases that we have created in previous video. Initializing driver. We need to open home page and search for a specific text. Then go to search result page and open first product. Then add product to cart on the product page. And then lastly, we will check that there is a product on cart page. We created our first test. Now we are going to implement those methods on the respective page object classes. Creating 4 page classes. Each will have page elements, constructors, and methods. Importing page object classes into my cart page class. Creating methods by right-clicking it on test classes. Adding cart page constructor. Copy-pasting cart page classes to other page classes. I will update them later. Starting to implement homepage class. We will first need to locate the search text box. I have found the ID of it. Creating web elements and calling it search text box. Locating search button. Found ID. Creating web element and calling it search submit button. Implementing search product method. We are going to type computer and click search submit button. At this moment, I realize that my constructors need to be updated because driver parameters are not accepted. I update them everywhere. As a side note, in Java naming convention, it should start with small letters. Now I want to test my homepage methods. I comment out everything else. Before we start running, we need to use driver.get method to open amazon.com in the beginning. Let's run. Yes, it's working, but we should close the driver in the end. Done. Next step is to implement search page. I am trying to understand which element to use to locate first result. There are many options. I choose class name starting with a size me, checking out how many times it has been used in search result page. 27 times. Creating web element using class name. Then we will click it. Let's see the result. It didn't work because we couldn't find the web element. I will use a CSS locator this time. We should add dots before each class name and remove spaces. Let's see. Now it's passed. Great. Moving to the next step where we will add product to the cart. I can locate Add to Cart button using ID easily. I also want to be sure that product is added to the cart. So I wanted to assert Added to Cart text, which means if I can detect Added to Cart text after clicking the Add to Cart button, it means we are successful. Seems like I will use a class name. I need to be sure that this class exists only after I added to cart successfully. So I am refreshing the search page to come to the initial state. Checking class. It doesn't exist. Great. Clicking to the add cart button, but I couldn't edit. Now I am trying to figure out why. I realized that I can add the same product maximum 3 times. I try to add an item and see that the class I am looking for exists. It does. Now I am creating a web element with class name using CSS selector. Then I will read the text inside it using the getText method as a string. Then we'll check if my string contains added to cart text. Let's try. Product is added to cart, but we couldn't find elements. I need to figure out why. Running in debug mode to understand. Test is passed. I am running it again. But it's failed again. Now I have an idea. I think this is because my assertion is called before page load is completed. I will add delay before my assertion and see what happens. To be sure, I am double checking without delay. It is failed. We are done here. Next step is to implement cart page. We will just go to the cart page and check if there is any product there. I'm trying to decide how to locate my web element. A truncate cut looks fine. A link normal class looks good. Maybe by quantity. In the end, I decided to use a link normal class. I am confirming that this class doesn't exist when there is no product in the cart. Let's run. It has failed. Debugging to check what's going on. Seems like we really couldn't find the element. Then I changed my locator to a truncate class. Great, we are done. We go to Amazon.com, search for computer, and add first product to the cart. Our next test case is to empty the cart. It is going to be very easy. We will navigate to the cart and click the delete button. We are using delete value to locate our element. We are also adding new product to the cart, which we have implemented already. Let's run it. It will first run add product test case, and then will run empty cart test case, which will also add new product to cart and then delete it. There is one important question here. Why did we include add product methods inside empty cart case? Could we use previous test case to save time? Yes, you can, but it is crucial to have your test cases be independent from each other, so that you can run them separately. So make your test cases independent. The result is both passed. We are done here. Now, finally we can implement parallel execution. First of all, we will create testng.xml file. Include our long version of class name starting with com. Since parallel parameter is set to methods, I expect both of my test cases to run in parallel. Two browsers are opened and running. Great. Next, I will also include our DuckDuckGo class. Now, 3 test cases are running in parallel. Amazing. Now I am setting parallel parameter to classes. I expect only one browser to be opened for each of my classes, one for Amazon, one for DuckDuckGo. Since Amazon class has 2 test cases, they will run one by one, not in parallel. However, the DuckDuckGo test case will run in another browser in parallel. Alright, in this tutorial we have added 2 new test cases and run them in parallel using testNG. We will keep improving our test automation framework step by step. I will see you later.